have this Native American community. We have such a heavy population of Native Americans, and I think would be a great thing to emphasize that and be proud of and show it off. Our name means string of beads. Our name is a Seminole name.
Of course, if you look up Konawa, Oklahoma, there's all sorts of historical things that go along with it. Of course, there was a tornado that wiped out Konawa back in the 60s.
It wiped us, and there was all the buildings on Main Street had at least glass blown out, and the roofs over. Blew the roofs over. Yeah.
So many of the stores have gone away. And you think about, we had the auto parts store and it went away last year, and now people, if they want to get a car part, they have to go. You got a broken down car and you have to get to a nearby town to go get it. And so we want to improve all the downtown area.
You know, whenever somebody comes through Konawa, they drive down Broadway here, which are called Main Street, but it's Broadway. And there's a lot of buildings that need painting or, you know, facelift essentially. And you know, I think if whenever somebody come into town and it was fixed up nice, you know, I think that would really help with drawing businesses or other people to town. You know,
just overall in town, well then, you know, it's run down, it's an older place, and it would just be nice to get it kind of freshened back up and get life back in town.
But the buildings are falling apart. Our building is falling apart. When this building's gone, there won't be much left in Konawa. And I'd love to see Konawa. I'd love to see the buildings fixed and people moving in and having businesses.
One of the things I've loved more than anything is band day. And I was in the first band day. I played the saxophone. I was in the 7th grade. I marched down the street in the first band day we ever had.
Bands from all over Oklahoma come and march in the morning at street parade, and are judged on that, and then in the afternoon turns into a field competition.
It has grown into a great celebration for our town, and what I really appreciate is when you go to the parades for our town, we've been having 2 really successful parades lately, and the band day parade, the streets are lined with common people, and it's like you would see in a movie. If you were going to go see a movie of hometown America, that's what you'd see when you come to our band day parade. And it's beautiful. It makes it gives me chill bumps. It's such a beautiful sight. A lot of the organizations here really spend a lot of time visiting the nursing homes, doing things that are really good deeds for people.
I think that it's just a small town, has a small town attitude. People are always willing to help each other. You know, we're not perfect by no means, but I think that there's a great volunteerism spirit with a lot of groups.
having lost the grocery store a couple of years ago, our convenience stores really stepped up and pulled together and were able to offer some things that the residents really needed and may not have a way to get to get those items. So just kind of the Oklahoma spirit, you know, it's just kind of shown through in Konawa.
We have some great assets in the community. We have a great community. We have a great health center. Great school system. I think it's just a good town. I mean, to raise your kids. I mean, small town community, like I said, and it's just a great place to raise your family, in my opinion.
When I first came here, there was a lot more issues than I would say than there are now. But over the past couple of years, there's been a big push to make Konawa a lot better than it has been in a long time. Especially the last couple of years, people have really stepped up to help with volunteering, cleaning up, just doing whatever is really needed.
We had last year we had the Convoy Hope, had over 800 people attend that. It was great outreach for the community.
We actually had over 200 volunteers.
Plus, over 200 volunteers, exactly. Awesome volunteerism last year. We have a Christmas dinner, fed over 600 people, I believe, last couple of years after school. Last 2 years, we've actually raised the chamber along with some volunteers have raised enough funds to, each kid that showed up got a toy, went home with a toy, which has been a great deal for the community. You know, of course, having the lake here, you know, number one slot limit lake in Oklahoma, because of the way the water's kept warm year round. OG&E having a 1,500 megawatt natural gas facility here. Great community givers, promotes volunteerism with employees to give back to the community, United Way, that sort of thing. You know, that lake has been a real big asset for City of Konawa as well, a big tourism draw for fishermen and stuff like that.
I just think that there's a lot of people that have grown up here or still live here that, you know, there's a lot of people that would like to move back here. Just like I said, the last couple of years there's been just a resurgence of volunteerism and you know, and it's not just for people who are living here. I mean, it's people who are from out of town. They're serving on various boards, organizations, and you know, so to offer them something that they can be proud of. Tell their kids, you know, this is where I grew up. You know, maybe retire here. You know, I think that the residents just deserve something nice.
This town is a wonderful town. It's a little rural town that has so much heart, and I just watch it every day. I just see what happened when my kids came back and left. They never left Konawa. They were at OU, but they never left home. They never left Konawa. They consider it home. One time, Bo and I were up here. He got outside and walked up and down the hall a little bit while I was working on a computer, and he came back in and he said, "Mom, there's no place better than this, is there?" I said, "No, there's not."
Kind of our hashtag is "Why Not Konawa?" But you know, and it's just, I mean, not every town's perfect, and by no means are we perfect, but I think to me we're as close as perfect as anybody else.